Ladies and gentlemen, Farm-Con-Versation number 2. But we're not at FarmCon, but it's still a conversation about farming. And I'm joined with a very special guest. We've got Farmer Cop. Look,
hey,
in
everyone.
the man cave as well, which is really cool. We had a conversation with Kermit about FarmCon. We had a conversation about some stuff on Farming Simulator 25. So I thought it'd be a great opportunity because they're over in the UK. We've been doing some stuff today and yesterday. We've been a great time.
Yeah.
We did a walk and talk, but someone might have accidentally deleted the walk and talk from the playlist. It's gone. I'm really sorry. So for those that caught it, thank you for joining us. We had a great time doing it. But let's talk about FarmCon. Let's talk about farming and stuff in general. Since we've got him here, we can get some insights and things. First things I wanted to ask you was, how did you get started in Farming Simulator? What kind of got you into it?
So the game itself, Farming Simulator, I got into it when I was, probably, 12, 13, something like that years old.
Okay.
And I got like Farming Simulator 2011 as a Christmas gift. And that was kind of what got me started in the franchise. I paid a little bit back then. And then I played a lot of Farming Simulator 15. Was kind of the first one that I played an absolute ton of. I didn't play a lot of FS17, but I played a lot of 15. And then I was playing FS19, and then I got into YouTube because COVID had hit. I'm a police officer, as you guys know, so I do that full time. And I came across a channel that you guys might have heard of, especially if you're here, MrSealyp. Great channel. Don't know if you've heard of him, but here he is.
Small YouTuber, you might. Yeah.
But so I would just be at home because I was working graveyard, and they took away all of our overtime. So I had 4 days off because they put us on 12. So we worked 4 days on, 4 days off every week. And I'd just be sitting up all night at home, keeping my same schedule, just playing Farm Sim. And then it was kind of lonely doing that, so I started watching MrSealyp, just kind of have it in the background and be watching it as I'm playing and to get ideas from it. And I was like, well, I probably could do that too. So I started recording some stuff and started putting some stuff out, and now here I am.
Here he is. And I would say you're a force in the community. Your channel, the stuff you do, is, you're well known. People like your content and like what you do. There's a growing community of content creators that are, I suppose, like-minded. I suppose we're all like-minded, aren't we? We all play the same game. We've all got a passion for it. We've all got a passion for farming and the virtual farming aspect of it. Which kind of brings me on to the next bit, which was FarmCon. Now, DJ and Farmer Cop were instrumental in all the planning for Lamma. If you attended Lamma in January, they did all of the planning. This guy honestly, every detail, every aspect was planned and organised by him, which is just phenomenal. But what we found at FarmCon this year in Germany, in Marktoberdorf, was the amount of people from the UK that had come over to FarmCon off the back of being at Lamma. Now, that's off the back of the work you guys did, which was phenomenal. Yeah. And we found that quite inspiring, the amount of people that were there.
Yeah, and so, that's kind of part of the reason we've kind of decided. We knew Llama was a big deal when we did it.
Yeah.
We knew it was a big deal, but we didn't know the impact it was going to have. Because normally when we go to FarmCon, it's English creators.
Yep.
No one cares who we are, which is kind of okay because it allows us to be a little bit slower pace. We can get videos done and kind of work. But this time, it was crazy busy every day because we were talking to people. People recognized us. We were able to have conversations. And, of course, we took the time to do that with people that wanted to talk to us. So we still had to get the work done that we needed to get done. So it was so interesting. But it was a good problem to have. And so I think that because of that, and talking with Giants and kind of our decision on it is, I think we've decided just to go ahead and do Llama again this year, or next year, I guess I should say, regardless of Giants being there or not. We've decided that it's that big of a deal to do. So
we'll talk a little bit more about FarmCon in a minute, but talking about that, your organisation of Llama, going to FarmCon last year, this year, you travelled to Finland this year, did some stuff with Rani Rapp, who are coming to game. We're going to get Rani Rapp for Bale Rapp and stuff. You then came down to Germany. You come from Germany to the UK to spend some time with myself and MrSealyp, Farm Dog, and then you're going from here up to Scotland, spend some time with FSG and Argsy, who are up there, and Jaden's going to be up there as well.
Yep.
What drives you to do all of that? The passion to do what makes you want to keep doing that?
It's the community that we built it around. So I think, at the end of the day, if this was just a job and we didn't care about the community, I think we would come over, we would go to FarmCon, we'd go home. We wouldn't care about seeing people, we wouldn't care about, I mean, if we didn't care about you, we wouldn't have taken the time and money to come
Yeah.
see you and spend time with you. But for us, it's been just crazy to be here, and we wanted to do it, so we're excited about it. So that's why, like, it seems like every year because DJ and I travel together, so
Yeah.
every year when we come over to Europe, it seems like the time that we spend here gets longer and longer
Yeah.
because there's more and more people we want to see, and we can't do it all. Like, I have so many other people I want to go visit and see, and it's just a time issue at the end of the day. But the reason we do that is because it's more than just us coming over here to work and make videos or whatever the case may be. We actually want to be here and spend time with the other content creators and the people in the community that make the community so great. It's a big deal to us.
Yeah, and sharing of ideas, and I mean, I think this time especially, we've had so much fun around it all as well.
Oh, yeah.
It's been great fun spending time with all these people, and all these people that, depending on whether you watch my channel or Farmer Cops or DJs or Argsy or whoever it might be, Omatana, all these people that we met and spent time with, we got to meet custom modding who'd come all the way, not custom modding, Connect modding, all the way from Brazil, and loads of map makers, modders, and different people. Just that sharing of ideas, a melting pot of stuff, I think is kind of what we're feeding off of when we're doing it all the time.
Yep.
It inspires us to keep going and move forward. So the FarmCon thing then, what was your highlight from FarmCon 24?
That's a tough one. I think that, so I would say from a content perspective, or like what we found out, like the information we got, I would say my highlight is the new AI worker system.
Okay.
I think that's a big deal for me. I think from a content perspective, that's my highlight, is what is coming to the new game. But I think that I would say that from that kind of like the more business perspective, is that was what I like to see, and I'm excited to see that coming to the game. But honestly, the highlight really is never about, I mean, my favorite part about, because I could get that information at home. So they sent out all the presentations to content creators, given it was the day of, but at the same time, we would have gotten the information without coming to FarmCon. So I think for me, the reason we travel over here is because we get to be a part of the community, and then we get to experience all this new information together.
Yeah.
And we each get to have a say, because you have a different opinion of it. I have a different opinion. DJ does, Argsy, FSG, Virtual Farmer, Omatana. We all have different opinions of the information, and we kind of learn from each other, and we see different things that the other people don't. And so I think that's the reason why coming to FarmCon is important to me.
Yeah. I think we were very lucky because we got to have one-to-one interviews with some people, with Stefan Geiger and Florian, and then Stefan Maurus, regarding the map creation, regarding the Giants engine, regarding GPS and AI worker. We were very lucky that we got to ask questions, which I don't think we really have done before.
No.
So our access was a lot better this time
Yes,
as well,
it was.
wasn't it? Which brings me on then from FarmCon 24, which you've kind of partly answered anyway, onto the upcoming Farming Simulator 25. There's a lot to unpack. There's a ton of information. A lot of people say, "Oh, we're not getting this, we're not getting that, we're not getting so and so." All we're going to get after 3 years is a bit of fog and a bit of tired information.
Yeah.
There is so much more to it than that. Now, I think, was there anything you felt that from? Because since then we have been looking at comments and feedback, and it's been coming in from all over the place through Giants, through the videos you guys have put up and that kind of thing. And we've all been looking at the feedback, and some people it's very, very positive and they're looking forward to it. There has been some negative comments and feedback.
Of course.
Addressing the sort of negativity around it, is there anything that you would like to say or pass on to people to kind of alleviate concerns? Maybe is that the best way of putting it?
Yeah, I think that there's kind of two themes I see in comments and with people that I've heard. One is like the most irritating to me is it's just a reskin of Farming 22. Like it's going to be the same.
It's become a meme, I think, around.
Yeah, exactly.
Giants,
it's a reskin. Oh no, it's not. Like I think part of that comes from people are worried because they're like, okay, they still see the name Giants engine on it, but it's a different engine each time. Yeah. They're revamping and they're building a new engine just based on their old one. So every time it's a lot better. And it's like, if you think it's a reskin of Farming Simulator, like go back and look through all the Farming Simulators and you'll be just shocked. So I think that's one big thing is people think it's a reskin. It's not even close to that. And then I think the second thing I see is people are like, oh, well, that's it.
Yeah.
Three new crops and, two, a new map or two and a new animal. And they're like, oh, that's it. And like they check out after that. But you have to remember that we still have months until the release. We are going to get so much more information leading up to the release. They haven't, Giants hasn't even, I think, shown even a good portion of their hand yet.
No.
I think they're holding back most of it, to be honest.
Yeah, and I think one of the things that I wanted to address after, because I did my first farm conversation with Kermit, who is one of the Giants coordinators, community coordinators, and I think through the comments that were left we were kind of shills, and we were sucking up to the Giants staff, and why we're not asking the probing questions and the things people want to know.
Yeah.
The thing you have to understand as well is we are asking questions.
Yeah.
We are asking tons of questions. Just the stuff that we've covered on videos are not all the questions that we've asked.
We've asked way more.
And a lot of the questions we've asked, Giants won't give us the answers to.
Right.
There's reasons why they can't. And in the interviews, we were all asking quite probing questions. And you could tell because the Giants employees that we were interviewing, I mean, Stefan Geiger is the top guy. Him and Christian Arman created the game. It doesn't get much higher up the chain than that.
Yeah.
And they would get to a point, and you could tell they were itching to say something.
Yeah.
But there's stuff they're holding back. There's stuff they're trying to build the hype gradually, and stuff will get released. They don't want to drop it all in one go.
Right.
So I think that was kind of what we were sort of just saying, and what I wanted to put across was, there's more to come. They are building that hype. Don't panic and think that is it, because it really isn't.
Not even close.
It really isn't it.
Well, at the same time, with like we said, like all the questions that we're asking that they're not seeing, like. You're not going to go and sit down and like, okay, here's 100 questions I asked Giants, and they said, oh, we're not going to give any information yet. Like, you're not going to put a video out on that because there's no information.
No, we'll tell you all the things we know, the information we have been given, we're passing on.
Yeah.
If we haven't been given the information, it doesn't mean it's not happening. And that's the thing I think that people are saying, well, if they haven't told you, then we're not getting it. That's not the case either. There are things they're definitely holding back. There are going to be some things I know from conversations. We're gleaning information every day as things move on. We're finding out little bits here and there. And there are things that potentially won't get a release. There are potentially things that will come a little bit later on. I know precision farming's been spoken about. People have been saying, no one's mentioned seasons. What are we getting with seasons? We don't know. They haven't told us. And they were very clever with all the footage to make sure there was nothing alluding to seasons and nothing on the screenshots or the visuals that showed us anything about seasons. So we don't know. And we're not getting it. We just don't know. And what form it's going to take. So, I think that was kind of one of the things I wanted to really put across with another content creator, because obviously when I was doing the interview with Kermit, I think people were very much, well, he works for Giants and he should know everything, but he doesn't. He's not. He's not a coder. He's not a map maker. He does the community coordinating and he passes on and disseminates information.
Yeah.
But he's not. He doesn't have all of the information. He can go away and find out. So it was, it's interesting to just do a conversation with two people that aren't actually, we don't work for Giants. We are independent to the whole thing. And don't be worried either about us. We're not always going to be blowing smoke, in places. We have said to them if there are things that are wrong, if things that we're not happy about, or things that we think you as a community want to know or aren't happy about. And they were very open to that. That was something we were quite surprised by. Florian, that was making the maps, and Stefan Geiger, that was saying about the GPS, said, we want your feedback. We want to know, even after release, what are you not happy about? And again, they're not going to be able to do or fix everything. And that's the one thing that we need to consider as well. This is a kind of, placating people and keeping people happy.
Right.
You have to understand that they can't please everybody. It's not going to be all ultra realistic. It's not going to be all really, really simplified. But they've got to find a middle ground. They've got to really allow for everybody and everybody's style of gameplay to make it accessible to a mass audience. Otherwise, you exclude tons and tons of people. And I think they seem to be achieving that from what we've seen.
I think I know a lot of people Giants gets a lot of flack for when they are adding stuff, or the things that they mostly get flack for stuff that they're not adding.
Yeah.
And some of it, people are like, oh, this is, and I hate it when they compare Farming Simulator to other games. It's like, well, it's not. It's a completely different game. It's its own thing. So you can compare it to previous versions of itself, but you can't compare it to other games because you're not going to have everything that every other game has. And at the same time, Giants is not, like people think, oh, Giants is just out there to make as much money as possible. Yes, they are a business at the end of the day.
They're a company.
They're a company. They have to make money, but they truly do care about the game. Because at this point, I'll be completely honest. Like, if they didn't care about the game or had passion for it, they probably would have sold the company to a bigger gaming developing studio, and it would have been fine. Like, they could have. They have made plenty of money for the people that own it, the CEO and the CTO. Yeah, they could have retired.
They could have sold it off and walked away by now,
easily done that, and had plenty of money to live comfortably. But they haven't done that because if you actually talk to them, which we get the opportunity at times, like we had the interview, and then also talking with Christian Amman, the CEO. They created this and they care a lot about it, and so they want to make it better. So when you get them talking about the game, yes, they're holding back stuff that they can't say yet,
Yeah.
but you can tell they're very excited about it and they want to see it move forward. And I mean, talking with Christian, he's already talking about the next game.
Oh,
Like he's already talking
They've
about like
already
he's
got ideas moving
They've
forward.
already got ideas moving forward for what
Yeah.
they're not going to be able to put in this one. They're going to put in the next one.
Yeah.
So they're always trying to move forward and make it as best as possible. And I think that Giants gets unnecessarily a lot of flack,
Yeah.
even though they're trying to do as best of a job as possible.
And it's difficult when they're putting out a game for millions of people.
Right.
I've always said that. They've got to appeal to the masses. And it might be the one thing that you personally feel you want to see in game. It might be that that's a very niche thing. And Giants will look at a whole host of things. They might look and think, well, okay, it is quite niche. We could put it in at a later date, but we've got to look at things that are going to appeal to a bigger audience. So you may be frustrated. At release, you may think, oh, they haven't put in this and I really wanted that. It's not to say these things will never come, but I keep saying this. How many times over the last few years have I been told by everybody, GPS will never come to console. Never get GPS on console.
And
I kept saying, it's scripting, and if they put it in the base game script, if they put it in the coding, it will come. And it's coming.
Look at that.
It's happening. I've always said, never say never. It can happen, So this is why I want to do this as well. This is us passing on information. This is us talking about the stuff that we have been talking about over the last 4, 5, 6 days.
Yeah.
Because we've all come away and we're all buzzing, we're all passionate. Not because Giants are paying us to be, not because Giants say, if we give you this, be buzzing about a game. We are genuinely excited about it.
Yep,
and
we
we're
are.
genuinely looking forward to it. So, and I think for me personally, you said about the AI stuff and things like that, and I think the GPS is going to be a big thing for console, especially. I know PC has had it for a long time. AI workers have been improved. Buildable farmhouses, the tire deformation thing, and we haven't gone into a huge amount of detail. I know I've got a video to do on that. The tire deformation is not necessarily going to be exactly what people think, but what it encompasses is incredible.
Yeah.
And I know people are going on about the fog and the God rays and that, but it all adds up.
Yeah.
You may look at it and think, that's ridiculous, but to go into the game with all of those elements adds to a massive immersive experience, and I think that's what they're aiming for.
Exactly.
All the components together. So there's a lot of cool stuff to come. We're looking forward to it.
And I mean, they started off with the fog and the God rays really early in the lighting, and I think people just latched onto that and said, okay, that's what we're getting, that's it. But they know the most exciting things, and they're not going to give out the most exciting things away.
No.
They're going to piece in some pieces, but they're always going to start small, work their way up. So just the fog and God rays, that in itself, if that was all we were getting, it wouldn't be a great improvement. It'd still be cool, but it wouldn't be a great improvement. But they're only putting out little bits of information to build the overall picture of what Farming Simulator 25 is really going to be.
Yeah, and if people feel that we're holding back, in all honesty, there's a few things that have been alluded to. There's been a few whispers. There's a few things here and there that different content creators over the course of Farmcon and since have been possibly told by Giants employees. But the reason nothing has come out about those various things is there's nothing concrete. There's nothing confirmed. We're not going to go blabbing stuff out going, oh, well, we're getting this, because we want to make it sensational and clickbaity. And it turns out, no, that's not coming.
Yeah.
That's not what we're trying to do. That's not what we're about. When we know, when we're definite, when we've had it confirmed, you guys will find out. We'll get the information out to you as soon as we can.
Yep.
So that's kind of the plan.
Yeah.
But just so you know, we're doing the best. We're doing it for you.
We're
people
trying.
say it's all right for you guys. You can afford to go. It costs a lot of money. You guys came over from the US. It's not a cheap thing to do.
It's an expensive trip,
for
for sure.
And when people are saying, they're donating or they're doing super chats and all these kind of things, most of us, that money will go into a pot, and that money goes right back into the channel.
Yeah.
And we're not doing it because we want to be better than anyone else. We don't want to be standing there going, oh, look at us, aren't we superior? I genuinely, I know from speaking to everybody, we're all passionate about our communities, about our subscribers, about our viewers, and we want to be able to pass on information. We want to be able to share what we can with everybody, because we also know it's not something that's available to everybody.
Right.
So if we can make it happen and we can share that to you, that's what we love. We love doing that, and I don't ever want anyone to think we're feeling superior or that's not.
Yeah, I mean that's part of the reason why we try to get out the information from like Farmcon and stuff to you guys as soon as we possibly can. Sometimes it takes us a little bit of time because we have to edit and do all this stuff, and it's all happening at once. But we try to get it out to you guys because we're not trying to say, oh, look what we got to see and you didn't get to see. We want you guys to have the information. So, especially in us being English creators and having a Farmcon that's all in German, usually, that's where it's usually at is in Germany.
Yep.
Us being able to get you the information in English for the English communities is a big deal to us. So that's one of the big reasons as well why we go to Farmcon is try to get that so we can give it to you. We're not trying to get it so we can have the experience and just hoard it for
we're
ourselves.
not holding on to it.
Yeah, we're not holding on to it. We want to we want to get it out to you guys.
So, I hope you found out some information, some stuff about Farmcon, stuff
Yeah.
about Farmcon, about our feelings and things we found out about Farming Simulator 25. We're buzzing for it. I've had a fantastic time with these guys, and it's always a very difficult thing when they go because it's great fun. I'm looking forward to. We're potentially going to be doing Lamma again in January. Potentially, we'll see how that goes, and then Farmcon next year, and it rolls on and it rolls on. Maybe we'll be doing things together, maybe streams and things like that. Who knows what's going to happen? But I hope you're enjoying what we're doing. I hope you've enjoyed this. If you are, please give us a like.
Yeah, like and subscribe. Make sure you check out MrSealyp. All of his other stuff is great. If you got here from this video, subscribe to this man and watch all of his content. He does great work.
Well, you too, likewise.
I appreciate it.
I've lost my thread.
Yeah,
If you don't subscribe yet, please do. If you want to leave a comment, feel free. And if you want to share this video, of course, please be my guest. Whatever you should choose to do. Thanks for watching.
Thanks, guys.